Alright, here we go. Playing Mario 64 with Jake and Shonna again.
Yay.
This is where we left off, 65 stars. Isn't the water world everyone's least favorite in every video game?
Usually the only thing people like about water levels is the music.
I know, doesn't it? Don't water levels always have the best music?
Especially in Smart Ball.
It's like they try to make up for the fact that the water level sucks by putting in peaceful music.
Trying to keep us calm.
By the way, Aaron's here this time.
Aaron's visiting.
I think the worst water level by far is anytime Conker's swimming underwater. Oh, I hate it when...
I hate swimming in Conker.
He gets decapitated in that windmill thing. The propellers or whatever.
The thing that was so annoying is that there was 3 of them. So the first 2 I'm totally fine. When I get to the last one, even though it was like the same speed as all the other ones, that one always hit me for some reason. Actually, it was a little bit faster, I think, than the first 2.
It might have been.
It's kind of like... That was my least favorite part about Conker, was that drainage pipe that you had to keep swimming through.
Mm-hmm.
I like the part that comes after, though.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that the dinosaur one with...
No, the part where you have to make the cow poop a lot.
Yes.
That part is funny.
My favorite is where, in Conker, is where you had to get that baby dinosaur to follow you, and then at the end of it all, he gets squashed.
Yeah.
You kill the baby, you make him think you're his mommy, and then you just kill him.
That's sad.
It's so funny, because it's so wrong.
I also like the part where you have to peer pressure the broom guy. I don't think there's very much replay value in that game.
What do you think about that, Aaron?
I disagree, because I started replaying it recently and I had just as much fun playing it. In fact, I actually had a little bit more fun because I wasn't stuck trying to figure out what to do.
I guess if you already know what happens, there's really no shock value left.
Yes, the shock value is completely gone. But that's why I don't replay games for a long, long time. I'll probably go back and revisit Conker 5 years from now and be like, I don't remember any of this stuff at all. I'm kind of waiting until I completely forget about the entire vampire level, because that was one of the best.
I love that
levels in the entire game.
I liked it when you were walking through poop the whole time.
Yeah, that part's funny.
And I liked the poo monster.
The great mighty poo.
Yeah.
With his chocolate-covered starfish.
Yep. He's actually a really good singer.
Yeah. He's got an operatic voice.
Yeah, it was very good.
Oh.
Yes, like that, Aaron.
He had to throw the chocolate in his mouth.
Yep.
I thought that was so
And then you flushed him.
And then you flushed him.
And then you flushed him.
So he has a big pile of poo.
And inside this giant volcano of poop, there was chocolate bars everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of...
Both water levels in this game have incredible slowdown.
Why?
frame rate.
Yeah, the frame rate goes down way low. frame rate. Yeah, me and Aaron were debating about frame rate earlier. No!
Uh-oh, get a coin! Quick!
Slow down.
I'm still proud of the fact that the Sega Saturn was one of the first games to render 3D at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
It's true. Even though the Sega Saturn's not really meant to be a 3D console, it's still... Right? It's supposed to be
My roommate wants a Sega Saturn really bad. He recently bought a Dreamcast.
Ooh, what does he have for it?
He has one game, and it's called, I think it's called, Who Wants to Beat Up a Millionaire?
What? Never heard of it. Does he have semen?
No.
Seaman!
Semen.
Does he have semen? New topic.
You know, I have to admit that I do things in games that don't make any sense, but I do them anyway just because I saw someone on YouTube do it. For example, in League of Legends, people for some reason don't just click the mouse once, like an RTS where they want their character to go. They click a million times. It's supposedly that makes them more unpredictable, but I don't see how since they're moving the exact same speed. But when you're watching Dota or League of Legends, which is actually kind of boring, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also think so. Why is it such a popular esport?
It's so popular.
I don't get it. It's always #1 on Twitch, and I don't know why.
But when they're playing it though, it's click, 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 click. They click everywhere, and they're only controlling one character.
You want to know my theory on that? My theory, which is most likely correct, is that the reason why they click constantly is because they're being paid by the mouse companies to buy more mouses.
To destroy mouses. So
To destroy mouses to increase the marketing value.
I always thought it was just to keep their movement up so they don't get careless.
No, it's the mouse companies. They pay.
I think it's because they take too much Adderall.
Where did that come from?
I think. Oh.
That came according to Core A Gaming. Core A Gaming talked about that drugs and drugs and lots of caffeine are a big problem at
Yeah, caffeine is a big problem.
esport tournaments. Like people will down cans and cans and cans of Red Bull and then take Adderall.
Why doesn't caffeine affect me?
I don't know, Shonna.
Because you're immortal.
I'm not anymore.
Caffeine doesn't affect my girlfriend either, so I don't get it.
If anything, it does the opposite effect, which is actually
Yeah,
really
it does
annoying.
that. It actually makes her tired, and I don't get it.
I sleep really well after drinking a cup of coffee. I have a really good night's sleep.
I really don't get it.
I'm sad about it though because that's so cool that people can drink coffee and like get a boost of energy. That's so cool.
You can try Red Bull, see what happens.
I drink Monster a lot.
I've tasted Red Bull and I didn't really like it. It was very metallic.
Well, Red Bull is not supposed to.
Energy drinks in general.
Yeah, you're not supposed to drink energy drinks for the taste. You drink them for the effects, just like alcohol.
Well,
Although I love the taste of Monster. I think Monster tastes really good.
I drink coffee and I don't really enjoy the taste, but I'm drinking it for the effects that don't happen.
You drink it for the taste. You just put tons of chocolate in it,
I don't put tons. I put 1 teaspoon.
and you say it's.
It's pretty good.
It reminds me of that SNL skit. Chris Farley.
You told me this was regular.
This told me it was a regular coffee.
I'm sad.
This is
about Chris
actually
Farley.
decaffeinated coffee crystals.
What?
What? With YouTube, you gotta get lucky. It's like winning the lottery.
I know. You know what? I've watched videos on like tips on how to get like
More views.
yeah, like views or to get any kind of bit of views on YouTube. They all say the exact same thing, and every video has like 500,000 views on it. So maybe I need to make a video about how to get more views on YouTube. I'm thinking about it.
Make a parody on those videos.
I think I will because you want to know why?
Why?
So many of those videos have the same backgrounds. It's like super modern, super clean background with like a desk. Every single one has Christmas lights or some sort of like light in the background. Every single one has a YouTube pillow or like a play button pillow. But I'm just saying they all have Christmas lights in the background. So I have Christmas lights, so I could totally Christmas it up behind me and maybe I get some views.
I think you should make a parody of it and not give out any helpful information.
I think I will.
Just make a joke video about it.
I think I will since nobody watches my videos. I should since I only have 40 subscribers.
Name it definitive
What?
way how to
saw it.
get
The definitive.
how to get more views on YouTube really works.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. That would be so funny.
Death at
People would
end.
click on it. And you make the thumbnail like like have like 5 emojis on it.
Yeah, and circle something with arrows. And a question mark somewhere.
And a question mark, like, really? Does it really work?
Because that's,
really
that's
works.
what they all do. and they have all these views, and it's so dumb because everyone does it. But do you have to?
Yes.
Interesting.
And it makes
It's
it
like what they did in
unfun.
Ninja Gaiden Sigma. You had
When they
to,
put Gord Butt in the
yeah, Rachel.
oh yeah, Rachel, that's her name.
Corn
Corn cob with corn cob butt and a button nose.
She runs like she just came out of a frat party.
Ew.
Ooh, look at
Did you see
thunder.
that lightning? It's It's lightning.
I mean
and
lightning.
It's like. Did you see that thunder? I heard that lightning.
Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's actually been real fun. But I think I'm gonna go check, see if Chris is online.
That's fine.
Go play your own.
Go play your Overwatch.
Overwatch, more like lame watch.
More like stopwatch.
More like stopwatch. That was great. That was a really good joke.
I like this thing.
Yeah.
What do you call this? Platform? Platform
An
there.
elevator.
It's not elevating you.
It's elevating me above the ground.
It's not elevating you. It is elevated, but it is not elevated.
It is elevated.
It's not elevating you. You beat this one. What are you doing here?
Microwaves.
Microwaves?
Not what I said.
Sound like microwaves. Hardcore waves? What kind of waves?
I didn't say waves.
What'd you say?
100 coins.
Oh. M for Mario.
Yeah.
That was close. Oh my goodness. Can't believe there's not a single job in this town. There's
There's
nothing. Not a zip.
zip.
Yeah. Not
Unless
unless
you want to work 40 hours a week.
I love that because I know it sounds like a lot, but that's just normal.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's a normal full-time job.
Yeah.
Unless you work 40 hours a week.
You gonna get that?
What?
That was new.
Where'd it go? What?
Where'd what go? Your box?
Yeah. Where'd it go?
It got engulfed into the pink.
What in
thing.
the world?
Shy guy.
This game just robbed me of coins.
You were robbed. Your favorite Mario game?
This one?
The 2D?
2D?
I do.
Is it Mario World?
Well, you made me question myself because I was gonna say Yoshi's Island, but I was like, that's not. That's
I'd say
not,
that's a Yoshi game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not really a Mario game because you don't play as Mario. So I guess it would be. Well, it would be between. Well, Super Mario World I actually beat, but I really like Super Mario.
Whoa, that was
2.
weird.
You were standing on the air.
I don't like Mario 2.
Why not? Don't you dare tell me because it was a game before you was Mario.
I just don't like the gameplay.
How come?
Because you gotta pick up stuff. You don't jump on stuff and kill it, you have to throw it away.
And? Is that it? That's the only reason?
Plus, almost none of the characters from that game come back later in later games except for like snippets.
None of the like enemies?
Yeah, the final boss doesn't even come back.
So? It's something. You just like seeing Bowser. I just really enjoyed that game because, well,
The music's good.
the music is really good. I liked playing it. That's like one of the only games I really liked playing as Peach.
Yeah.
Because she could float. I just thought that was so cool. I think.
I don't know, my favorite 2D Mario game would either be Mario 3 or Mario World. No!
Oh,
No, don't you
no.
even! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Oh my goodness, Jake. That was so close.
I would have been so mad.
I would have just left the room. What are we trying to do now? You have like 117 coins. What are we doing? Oh.
Don't do
it! Go that way! Oh man, why'd they put it there?
It's the dumbest place to put a star.
Jerks.
Thank goodness that is the end of that level, and I don't have to play it anymore. I think. Yes.
I'm relieved. What was that empty star there?
That was the next level.
The more and more adult you get, the more and more you have to adult. Good job. Yeah. But you gotta keep a young heart.
Oh, I always do.
Gotta keep it young, otherwise you'll be miserable. Look at the toilet bowl with some pee in it. Did you see that? See that?
Yeah. I know what you're
Why'd
talking
they do
about.
that? They thought they were being funny.
It's supposed to be a star.
What I do is I work for a company, I don't go to a building. I work for a company. My boss is retarded. I mean, an airhead. I mean, dumb. I mean, I don't like her.
Okay, go on.
Anyways, so what I do is I have a, it's a phone, but I don't call on it. It actually just has a program on it, so it's like a mobile.
So it's like a pager?
No, it's in a Samsung phone, but you don't call with it. It has a program on it that Bluetooths to a scanner, has the red bar that you scan barcodes with.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to a variety of stores and I scan anything that is on promotion. So that would be anything that's on an end cap, anything in the seasonal aisle,
Cool.
anything that's in a cardboard shipper. I scan that stuff and I get paid to do so.
I don't think I've ever done that before. That was really cool.
What, scanning stuff?
No, what I just did in the game.
I could tell you're really paying attention. You really cared what I was talking about, so thank you.
Well, you scan stuff in cardboard.
You want to know how to say coffee in Japanese?
Sure.
Kohi.
Coffee. Oh, that makes sense.
It only lasts for the next 6 days, and then they're taking it off the internet.
That's stupid.
The next 6
Why don't they
days.
just keep it on the game?
Isn't today only like the 20th or the 21st?
That's what I thought it said. It said only available for the next 6 days.
So it ends before Halloween starts.
Unless I misread it, that's what it said. It said available for 6 more days.
Wow, Blizzard, who's in charge of your company?
Blizzard. There's a blizzard in charge of Blizzard.
I think it's crab people.
Like an
Crab
actual blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Oh, that's why.
French silk pie is taking out her revenge for people not buying her.
I wish a French silk pie still existed. They must have just moved on to Blizzard. French silk pie is my favorite Blizzard.
My favorite blizzard is the brownie batter. What the?
I'm just kidding. Did you like my stopwatch joke?
What was your stopwatch doing?
It was not funny.
Oh, because I was going to go play Overwatch?
And Jake said, more like lame watch. And then
You're
I
like
said,
Overwatch, more like stopwatch. It was not funny.
We should. Oh.
Why am I in the slide?
You playing this in Sly? I know there's more than one graphics card in the 64.
Not slide, slide. SLI.
Yeah.
There's, more than one graphics card.
Yeah. That's what Jake just said.
Like, it's not what I said.
He's like, why am I playing this in Sly?
That's not
I
what
should be
said.
using Crossfire.
Crossfire! Got up in the crossfire!
I wish I was playing in Sly. This game probably has a ton of micro stuttering if you played in Sly.
Yeah. And screen tear.
All that preposterous screen tear.
Yeah.
Sly and Crossfire are overrated. That's all I
So is frame rate.
Fair for a minute.
Frame rate sucks.
What?
Hate it.
I'm all about frame rate, but Sly and Crossfire, supposedly the only game that really benefits from Crossfire and Sly is the Witcher games.
If you're all about frame rate, you don't know a lot about frame rate.
You know what's the most important thing about a game?
How fun it is.
Yeah.
The What were you gonna say, Shonna?
Well, I actually like that answer better than I was gonna say. That is playable.
That too.
But sometimes there's like really, one of those like, this game's so bad, I'm gonna play it. And then it's fun. Actually, I don't have a single example of that. Scary shrooms, I am sure.
I have an example of a game that I thought was really bad and ended up loving it. Actually, I can think of two examples.
Okay, what are they?
The original XCOM and the original Fallout.
Those are considered bad.
The original Fallout?
I actually didn't. When I first played the original Fallout, I did not like it because I thought it was so slow. And it is slow in the very, very beginning. But if you stick with it, it's actually really fun.
And
you have to kind of. Well, I know you liked it because you're just an extra cool person, but I was still an ADD kid.
Oh, so there wasn't enough stimulation for your brain.
There wasn't enough stimulation for my brain.
You have to simulate that brain.
You had to actually use your imagination to enjoy the original Fallout.
Yeah, what a drag.
Yeah.
Now I love it. I think it's classic. But when I first played it, I was like, why is this game so overrated? But that's before I even knew what a pen and paper RPG was, so.
You know what I hate?
What?
Nazis.
It's not what I was gonna say. But
Oh.
I hate when people use the term overrated to say a game is bad.
Who says that?
A lot of people. No, I'm just reminded me of that.
Hey, I have a game to play right now. Ready?
What's the game they say is overrated?
Ocarina of Time.
I don't think Ocarina of Time's overrated.
A lot of people.
I don't think it's the greatest game of all time, which a lot of people do.
I don't either, but I still think it's a great game.
Well, when you say greatest game of all time, you're automatically going to put red flags on the game. For example, everyone says that Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time, and of course that makes people mad.
Yeah.
But if you were to compare Citizen Kane to Ocarina of Time, I could kind of see the comparison because of just how people still mimic the techniques used in Ocarina of Time in 3D gaming today.
But I have a game to play. Ready?
Yes.
Everybody think of a game that you literally think is overrated, and then we're going to name it, okay?
Okay.
Do you have one already?
Yep.
I don't.
I'm still thinking. So hold on. Once all three of us can think of one. So Aaron, since you already have one, you can just visit about whatever you
I
want.
bet I know what it is.
What?
Don't say it. Oh yeah, what do you think it is?
Overwatch.
Overwatch, overrated.
Overwatch, more like
Overrated.
overrated.
Well,
So good.
all right. Well, in all honesty, actually, that's not what I mean. That did cross my mind, but I was like, Jake's probably gonna already pick that or Shonna. So I actually thought of a game that I thought has been overrated for a long time, and even though I actually want to re-own a copy of it now because of the memories, but is Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. I think that game is super overrated, and people need to move on about how cool that game was.
Nice one, Aaron. Do you have one yet, Jake?
I don't. I'm still thinking.
You can still talk about Eternal Darkness right now while we're thinking.
I think for me, the reason why Eternal Darkness just didn't hit the mark for me is because I had just finished beating Resident Evil 4, so I was looking for other survival horror games for the GameCube, and there is no other good survival horror games for the GameCube besides Resident Evil 4.
Fatal Frame?
Not on GameCube.
Metroid?
That's an amazing game. That's not survival horror.
Mario Party 7?
What?
Mario Party 7?
It's I can't decide. I can't decide if that's horror or survival.
Oh, it's both. It's the most intense game you'll ever play in your life.
I feel like I'm dying while I play it.
Okay. All those memories.
Just think of one, Jake? A game that you think is overrated? I'm still thinking. I have one, but I think it's going to offend one person in this room.
It's gonna be me.
So I'm trying to think of a different one.
You didn't deny it. So
No, it could be me because I know she thinks that Hyperlight Drifter is overrated.
I I do too.
Well,
What?
I don't think it's overrated because I don't even think it's like.
I think Hyper Light Drifter is amazing.
It is a good game.
I wasn't.
love it.
I wasn't gonna name Hyper Light Drifter because
But a lot of people think it's the best indie game that ever existed ever. And I'm just
I know.
who thinks that?
I've heard
Like
a lot
one
of
person on Reddit,
people, more than one person on.
2 people, 3 maybe. I wasn't gonna say Hyper Light Drifter because when I think of an
Did you
overrated,
say? I wasn't gonna say Herpes Brothers.
yeah, yeah, that's what I said.
I wasn't gonna say Herpes Brothers, but.
Then the next sentence after that I was gonna say is I wasn't gonna say Hyper Light Drifter because when I think of an overrated game, I think of a game that you see a lot of, hear a lot of, see a lot of, and you hear a lot of it.
Oh, I thought of one.
And Hyper Light Drifter is not one of those. I have only ever heard it from Aaron, so that doesn't count. Okay, what, Jake?
Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Tell us why.
Because I think everyone ever thinks that game is better than the first one. Just because either Yoshi's in it or it has more levels in it. Those are the only reasons. And I think that it has both less imaginative levels and a stupidly simplified overworld.
Compared to the original Galaxy.
The original Galaxy.
Well,
I still like the game,
Right.
but the first one was far superior.
So Shonna, tell me what.
Well, I was going to try to think of one that wasn't offensive, so I thought of one.
No, tell me the offensive one.
I like
Say
offensive ones.
Yeah, tell me the offensive
Super
one.
Smash Brothers. I think that's
Which
way
one?
overrated. All of them except for the 64. But then I was trying to think of one that's not offensive, and it's just Soul Calibur, I was going to say.
Soul Calibur?
Yeah, I was going to say Soul Calibur.
You know,
I think it was.
I think it
I think the
was
second
overrated.
one. I think the second one's overrated.
I think it was overrated too when it was first released, especially the first one for Dreamcast that people were calling the perfect fighting game. But people have moved on since that, and Soul Calibur is almost dead now.
Okay, I have another one then, since you guys disagreed with my comment.
No, I didn't disagree. I just was saying Soul Calibur is almost dead.
Kingdom Hearts.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Although I love Kingdom Hearts, but it is overrated.
I don't like Kingdom Hearts.
I
Why do you like Kingdom
I really gave it a serious try because I love Disney. But I mean, it's cool seeing the characters from Disney in a video game, but I just didn't like. I wasn't having fun playing it. I had fun when, look who showed up.
I have the exact same opinion on Kingdom Hearts. I think the story is fantastic, but I don't actually like playing the game.
It's like you're literally playing it just so you can see the characters show up and whatever and what's
Right.
going to happen. But you're not playing because, this is fun.
I don't think the gameplay is all that interesting.
Don't forget about your star right there.
I know. I don't want it.
What?
I thought we
It
were
was
doing
yellow.
100% Star.
It was yellow.
I know.
Doesn't that mean you wanted it?
I was trying to get a hard coin.
Oh, I guess my problem is I'm just not in love with Disney enough because I thought the game was unappealing entirely.
Okay, next question. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Lion King.
Aww.
Either 101 Dalmatians or Beauty and the Beast. I don't know, like when it comes to just straight up old school Disney, I'd probably go 101 Dalmatians.
I would go Sleeping Beauty.
I think Lion King is better than all those.
I still get chills up and down my spine whenever Belle's crying like, Gaston, no! And he's like about ready to kill the beast, and the beast just stands up for himself, and Gaston's just filled with fear when the beast growls in his face. It still gives me goosebumps.
I still get chills.
I was gonna say something about Lion King
So was I.
when he's is grown up and he's walking on when that really emotional music's playing and it's raining and he goes back to Pride Rock. Is that what part?
That too, but
That part gives me chills.
I was gonna say the part that gives me chills is the part where Scar has Mufasa on the cliff,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Long live the king."
And then Simba's like, "No!" Okay, you want to know the part that gives me chills in Sleeping Beauty? Since we're talking about chills, and Disney movies usually always have chills.
Yeah.
The part when Prince Philip kisses Sleeping Beauty.
Aww.
Because...
What a beautiful scene.
Oh, and the part before that is when he stabs Maleficent as a dragon. That part's so awesome.
See, I don't think I've ever seen Sleeping Beauty.
Well, you should someday.
You mean to tell me that a boy who's spent the majority of his life hanging out with the coolest woman on Earth hasn't seen the coolest woman on Earth's favorite Disney movie?
Yeah, because we never watched
But
it.
we have watched the 10 Commandments together.
That's true.
Bro, I was like, what's your greatest movie ever made? And I put the 10 Commandments in. And because you were such a sweet little kid and you loved me so much, you're like, yeah. And you know what? Aaron's never seen the 10 Commandments, so it's a similar situation.
I've seen my share of Bible films.
Yeah, but 10 Commandments is different.
I don't even remember a single scene from the Ten Commandments.
Don't you remember the beginning at the curtain?
No.
Okay.
There's a curtain in the beginning.
Yep, it's the man.
The man's the curtain.
You'll know when you see it what I'm talking about.
No clue.
There's a man and he's the curtain.
I just remember it was a really, really long movie.
It's very long and old. But I would get in these weird, like, kicks of watching one movie a million times, and Ten Commandments somehow became one of them. So was Gone with the Wind, Dumb and Dumber, yes.
Gone with the Wind is a good film.
It
The
is.
Mask was one of them at one point.
I did watch The Mask.
You know what
a lot.
movie that I want to watch that I haven't seen in years?
Let me guess. Can I guess? Do you think I'm able?
You're probably able.
I can guess.
Okay. Is the main actor Jim Carrey?
No.
Is the main actor Chris Farley?
No.
Is the main actor Will Ferrell?
It's not a live action film.
Okay. Is the main
I know exactly what he's talking about.
What?
Bolto.
I don't even know what that is.
What is that?
You guys never seen Bolto?
I've never heard of that. Is that some
Never
missionary
mind.
movie?
No.
What is
It's
Volta?
It's a DreamWorks cartoon about a dog sledding wolf. Well, it's actually a wolf out in Alaska who ends up leading a bunch of dog sledding.
Bolto?
That sounds
Yeah.
like a movie that I've seen before. It's not called Balto.
What's it called? Bolt?
I forget what it's called.
White dog?
Takes place up in Alaska, and it's about a wolf that helps sled dogs get back to safety. They
I
like
might have seen that movie. I just didn't.
it was a
realize
DreamWorks
was called-
cartoon.
Never heard of it.
Actually, no. I saw a live action movie that had that exact same premise.
Well, oh, you talking
98 Below?
Yes, that's the one.
I saw that. You know what I thought of that movie?
I was
didn't
trying to
mind
be
it,
random, but I
it
didn't know it was
wasn't my
being that
favorite
random.
Hell, you were. Alright, I'm still trying to guess. What movie Jake wants to see that's animated? Right? Aladdin.
No,
Disney?
it is Disney.
Okay, I got this. Chip and Dale.
No,
Snow White.
no,
Pinocchio.
Good one, Aaron. Sword and Stone.
no. Although that is a good one.
Peter Pan.
No.
Is it have a male or female protagonist?
There isn't a
Is
protagonist.
there a princess?
There's no protagonist.
No.
What?
Is it Disney or Pixar?
Is it really, really old Disney?
No. It's not that old.
90s?
I don't even remember what year it came out.
No protagonist?
Hmm.
So it's got an anti-hero story?
It's not. There's not even.
Pete's Dragon.
It's not a story.
Oh, it's documentary.
Fantasia!
That's the one.
Oh, I was gonna say where's the penguins?
What?
I really want to watch Fantasia again.
Fantasia's so good. You know what? We should video capture Fantasia and talk the whole time.
I think that would be interesting.
That would be fun.
I always thought Fantasia was really interesting because Walt Disney, was like a diehard Christian back in the 50s and 60s and stuff, but Fantasia clearly supports
Evolution?
the belief in evolution. Yeah, I always wondered about that. I was like, so here's a guy who claims to be a Christian, but yet he is advocating for evolution in this film. Why is that? Is that just because it's the status quo, or what was his reasoning for that?
Go with the status quo.
I feel like if I watched it again today, I would understand a lot more.
Definitely.
I had no idea what was going on.
Definitely.
I just liked it because there was a lot of different kinds of cartoons. Like there was dinosaur cartoon, there was
Hippopotamus and
cartoon,
ostrich.
there was ostrich cartoon, there was
Donkey.
there was
Centaurs.
Did you guys ever watch Fantasia 2000?
Yeah.
don't know what that is.
I
do. I have seen it once. I saw it at daycare, and I always wanted to see it again.
I saw it and I didn't think it was as good, but I didn't think it was bad.
I just remember Wells. That's all I remember.
All I remember is it was trying to be Fantasia.
I do remember Wales.
I don't even remember Wales.
My favorite Fantasia cartoon would probably have to be the Disney with the broomsticks.
Yeah.
Or Mickey with the broomsticks.
Yeah, Mickey.
Oh yeah, the one from Fantasia.
I think it's called The Apprentice or something.
Yeah. The Magician's Apprentice.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
I really do like that one, and I also really like the Evolution one.
Which one is that?
I do too, because it's
The
scary.
dinosaur one? Yeah, because...
Well, it starts out with planets.
And then
Explosions.
right, because the primordial soup. It's talking about the
Sick.
primordial soup. But then also, I really like the ending one where it's like Satan and his minions are attacking that town.
Yeah.
That one's really good too.
That was really good.
I just really like Fantasia, and I feel like if I watched it again today, it would be a lot more, like, I would get a lot more out of it.
You think I'd be allowed to video capture Fantasia as long as we're talking over it?
I don't feel like you could upload it without
Really?
getting
In big
copyright
trouble.
strike.
I have think about.
Especially not with Disney. Disney has like a monopoly over YouTube right now. I'm glad you're not one of those people that tries to be PC.
I'm really not. I kind of, if something's like super popular, I sort of don't like it already. It's not always the case at all, but Overwatch was one of the main ones. When Aaron bought it, I immediately didn't like it because it's so famous and so popular, and it's like the thing right now. Therefore, I think it's dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
And
Get him! No! Dump on the thwomp.
thwomp, thwomp on the thwomp, on the rooftop. What is going on right now? What was that?
For some reason, when you grab a bomb right as
That looks like a lot of coins.
right in the middle as is exploding, it
You mean
gives
what?
Mario a ton of backwards momentum. And it doesn't go away until it explodes. Hey, I was wondering when you were gonna get up.
How long have we known?
I'd say a good 6 hours.
So, in your opinion, when does a game look indie?
When it looks like Hyper Light Drifter or Cuphead.
You think Cuphead looks indie?
Yeah.
Really? I don't.
A AAA studio would not go that far to make an art style that unique. They just don't care enough.
So, indie is not. Wait a minute.
Indie means independent.
Well,
Indie
I know.
doesn't
I
necessarily mean retro. I think.
I know that. I know that indie means independent, but I've seen so many indie games that all look so different. How do you recognize when they're indie?
When they're not made by. 2K.
When you don't know their company.
If they're not 2K, Capcom, Konami.
If you don't know who made it, how can you recognize it's indie?
Because you can tell that more love was put into it. AAA games are there for the money.
I feel a lot of love coming out of Warcraft 3.
That's because Blizzard was small back then.
Were they?
Blizzard's a lot bigger now.
Alright, let me think here. Let me think.
And I think Nintendo is barred from this because they already put a lot of effort into their games. You can just tell when a Nintendo game is a Nintendo game.
Like this one?
Like this one.
Nintendo's pretty big by now. This looks like an indie game, a lot of love.
I know, that's why I said Nintendo is barred from this conversation.
Oh, they're barred. Okay. Alright, then how about we talk...
Great Entertainment. That's the name of the company that did Grim Dawn.
Yep. Crate sounds great.
Great.
Check out.
Look at that mushroom following you. It's so funny. Don't let it get you.
No!
Oh.
I don't want that.
Getting rid of that. Alright then. What is a big company right now that you feel still tries
Still tries?
to make great games for their people?
Well, if it weren't for microtransactions, I'd say Capcom.
Capcom?
Aaron's gonna disagree.
I think Capcom's gone downhill.
I think the thing that brought them downhill was the invention of microtransactions.
You think Capcom really cares about their games?
I do.
Why do you think that?
Because otherwise, why else would they make Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
Why does
Because they're losing money, and so they're trying to do nostalgia, because that's what Nintendo's best at.
Street Fighter
So
5
you're
look?
saying everyone that's not Nintendo is trying to copy Nintendo to make money?
I think so. I think because everyone sees how successful Nintendo is, and Nintendo heavily relies on nostalgia. I think a lot of other companies are like, well, we can do that too. Remember in the 90s when we had Marvel vs. Capcom? We'll bring that back. Everybody will love it.
How could you say that Capcom loves what they make when you see Street Fighter 5, which looks like rubber ducky Teletubbies?
I think they were just trying to make a different kind of game.
It was definitely different.
Rubber ducky Well, Street Fighter 4 was rubber ducky Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, they were.
I thought Street Fighter 4 had a pretty dark art style
Dark, huh?
compared to the other Street Fighter game.
Dark,
Street Fighter 4, they actually put effort into that game, where they actually had cool animations when you beat the single-player arcade mode. They'd have little anime scenes, like Ken's wife Eliza having a baby. All that's gone in Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 has nothing but just online competitive. Actually, they changed
it has
that.
a story now.
Yeah, that's true. They did put a story in it now because of the outburst of people.
Well, they were already working on it. They just decided to release the multiplayer as a $60 game with the promise that they would release story later.
Please, companies, finish your games.
You know what I think is absolutely hilarious? Is that when Capcom did their reboot of Resident Evil with Resident Evil 7, they hired a totally different company to do their storyboard writing for them.
Did they really?
That was so funny when I found that out. They're like, we know we can't write good stories, and so since we're in jeopardy, let's just completely change our gameplay and then get a totally new company to write the story for our gameplay.
Resident Evil 7 is fantastic.
Yes, it is, but they didn't write it. They had to bring in another company to write their story for them. I think
that company is, I appreciate that.
I think that is like, it reminds me of Elf. Remember in Elf when they couldn't write a good children's book, so they had to bring in that midget?
Yeah.
That's exactly Capcom. They're too big for their own britches. So they have to pay. They're so big, they have to pay smaller companies to come in and do their work for them. If that ain't Trump, nothing is.
I didn't want to bring politics.
Politics are my least favorite topic, and it's over right now.
You're not gonna use bench. Okay, we're done with that.
Finally.
I'm still having a hard time thinking of a company that really tries.
SNK?
Dang it.
Not SNK?
I think the fans are trying really hard to keep SNK alive.
Atari.
Trying really hard. Because they're borderline bankrupt at this point.
Bankrupt, just like id, right?
Ooh, that's it. Yep, I'm
Yes.
Okay, I'm totally on board the id train right now.
Okay, I have a question.
16, I'm on board the id train.
I have a really big question here. I was going to say id, but I thought that you guys were going to be like, no, because
I thought Doom did really well.
it did.
That's why I think id is a company that was AAA, or at least used to be. Now it's been.
Yeah, but
That's why I was going to say,
didn't you just say they were almost bankrupt?
Yes, they did almost go bankrupt, and that's why Bethesda bought them out.
which is why I wasn't going to say id.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And honestly, them getting rid of John Carmack, as much as that saddens me, I think that was one of their best business moves they could have ever done.
Who's John Carmack?
The one who invented the original Doom, but he was destroying the series.
John Carmack.
He's getting rid of all them chaps.
Poor John Carmack.
I know. He got pushed under the bus.
He did get thrown under the bus, but I think it was for the better of everyone.
Poor John Carmack. Do you think Nintendo's trying, Jake?
Yes.
Yes.
I think they're trying very hard.
Do you think they're doing well?
Yes. They're doing very well right now.
Not when it comes to anything that could possibly
when it
take a
comes-
penny away from them.
Not when it comes to fan content, but anything that they make has been top notch.
Nintendo's selfish.
That's true.
Nintendo's very selfish and conceited.
I don't know what conceited means.
They only think about themselves.
That's true.
So they're selfish.
Yeah. But I think they make great content.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this content.
I mean, Mario Odyssey is like the
Blue and black candy cane, my favorite.
Guess I don't get a chance to speak ever.
You know what? When you go back and listen to this video and recognize how many times I have been interrupted but haven't said a word, then you're gonna
Alright.
be sorry that you just said that right now.
Pretty starry.
You're gonna be so sorry.
Alright.
I guess I don't get a chance to speak. You just go back and you listen to the whole company conversation. And I would start a sentence and you guys would start your own sentences. But I wouldn't get mad about it.
I'm not mad.
Okay, me either. What about you, Aaron?
About what?
Are you mad?
No, I'm happy.
Me too. Happy, Jake?
Yeah.
Alright. Now, what's your guys' least favorite video game company? Starting with Jake. If you're not ready, I'll move on.
Like console?
No, your video game company.
I mean, one that makes consoles or
No,
just
no,
in general?
Just video game company. If you're not ready, I'll move on.
I'm not.
Aaron, what's your least favorite video game company?
It's a hard one.
I do have answers, but I have to think of one.
Okay, let me think of one too.
My least favorite? Alright, so we're. Oh, man.
I think whoever makes Call of Duty.
It's. Activision?
Oh, Activision?
Activision's
Oh, they're
great.
pretty good. Never mind. Take that back.
Oh. Activision were the distributors, but the publishers were Treyarch, wasn't it?
Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer all make Call of Duty games.
Wow, I don't know any of those companies.
Treyarch is the best of the three.
Ooh, I got one. EA.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I'd agree. EA is probably the worst. Although Blizzard's starting to work their way up there for me. See, the problem I have with that question is a lot of these companies that I'm angry at now, the reason why I'm angry at them is because they had such a good thing going in their early days, you know?
Yep.
Like, I'm angry at Capcom because I love Capcom games. I'm angry at Blizzard because I love Blizzard games, so that's why it's hard for me to choose which one I think is the worst.
You're angry at them because you know they can do better, and you care that they have made good things in the past, but they're not now.
Exactly. You want them to continue to succeed, and yet they choose to make wrong choices.
All last year.
Wee Poo? Oh, sorry, Wii U.
Excuse me, I thought you liked the Wii U.
I want to know. I want to know what you were referring to.
Yes, please.
I'm referring to, or maybe it was 2015. It was one of those. It was when they started doing all this YouTube stuff, burning creators and stuff.
Nintendo is has become like their own arch nemesis.
I think they've made all of the right decisions this year, though.
Publicity in
Not about that, but I'm talking about like as a company. Ever since Kimishima became their new president, they've made a lot of really good business decisions.
Like what?
like teaming up with Ubisoft to make.
That's a great game.
the Rabbit Mario and the Rabbit Kingdom.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Oh, I thought it was Mario and the Down syndrome.
Do you have it?
I do.
And you play it?
It's a great game.
You actually like it?
That's
Yes,
good. That's
it's a
wonderful.
good game.
I knew it was good.
How did you know it was good? I didn't play it.
I saw a pre.
What problem do you guys have with that game if you haven't even played it?
All I know is that they keep advertising themselves on YouTube, and there's always this rabbit that's dressed up like Princess Peach, and it looks like a really deformed Michael Jackson.
She's actually a super funny character in the game.
I saw it. It's so funny.
That's probably how she talks too.
Aaron, that was me.
Oh, I thought you were trying to parody it.
No, I wasn't happy.
Oh. Hi, man.
Talking about me
Okay, well, see,
not being nice.
That's a great game.
Well, this is what I don't understand about that game, okay? So, it's got Rabbids, which is a really, like, childish character subject. It's got Mario, which is cool. But then, it's got... Basically, it has all the ingredients in it for a children's game, but yet it's not a children's game from what I've been told it, because it uses, like, XCOM turn-based strategy. So, what audience are they trying to appeal to? Just the one?
Say that again.
I said it really doesn't matter. It's a fantastic game.
So why not? Oh, so my question is, why would Nintendo then bother making an XCOM-styled game with Ubisoft using Rabbids and Mario characters when they could have just simply gone to 2K and be like, or the people who do Civilization games and be like, hey, will you make your next XCOM game for the Switch? Because that would have made me want to buy a Switch right away.
I couldn't give you an answer to that question.
Nobody can.
I think there's a little bit of preconceived bias because it's a really good game, and just because the characters are pretty dumb doesn't mean it's a bad game.
But the characters didn't have to be dumb, is the thing.
Okay, here's what I don't understand. Is there actually a good game that has? And I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking about, like, we all know Mario is a classic, okay? But is there a Rabbids game that's actually good? That's just the Rabbids?
No, there hasn't been a good Rabbids game until Mario plus
Why was
Rabbids.
there this alliance formed between Rabbids and Mario? That's like mixing poop with brownies.
Brownies in the butt crack.
I don't know, but
Why wouldn't they combine Mario with some awesome company or awesome characters?
I think they were trying to revive the Rabbids.
Why?
Just let it die.
Let it die. It's been dying ever since you drew the character design.
Uh-oh.
What is happening?
Mario's falling.
Uh-oh.
How'd you even know that platform was right there?
I don't need no carpet.
I think what a cooler... I think would have been a better decision from Nintendo is either do an XCOM 3 or an XCOM 2 reboot or a port, and then make it that some of the unlockables in it is Mario themed costumes.
I think Mario plus Rabbids is a good game on its own.
It's called Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah. Kingdom Battle.
Holy smokes, that's a horrible name.
Mario plus 1.
Mario plus 1.
Faith plus 1.
Plus 1 is actually a real Christian band name.
Is it really?
They try to be like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. They died a long time ago.
In a fire.
In the fire.
I forgot about the Rabbids thingy.
Mario plus Rabbids is a good... Alright, you're good.
God.
I'm just saying it's actually a really decent strategy game.
I believe
And
that.
It's the first one that I've actually even wanted to ever play ever.
Because it's got Mario in it, not because it has Rabbids. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying...
Here's what I heard. I heard that when you're creating your team, you have to have, if I remember right, 6 members, just like the new XCOM games. 3 of them, though, have to be Rabbids. You cannot have 6 Mario characters when you're creating this game. Is that correct?
You don't have 6 all at once. You have 3. And one of them has to be a rabbit.
So why couldn't you just have 3 Mario characters? Why do you think Ubisoft is enforcing that one of them has to be a Rabbid character?
I don't know.
Franchise manipulation.
Communists.
I implore you to actually play the game and then see if you have the same.
Oh, I'm sure it's
The
fun.
thing is, Aaron is not saying the gameplay's gonna be bad. He's talking about the Rabbids.
What I'm saying is the gameplay is probably awesome, but why did they? The gameplay is probably awesome, but I'm saying it's the context.
The rabbits are not obnoxious in the game. They're actually kind of funny.
They look really funny. And not funny, haha.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying Mario's hat in Odyssey looks funny, therefore I'm not gonna play Odyssey.
No, because Mario is still part of the Mario, whether it's his hat or his suspenders, it's still part of the Mario franchise.
It's like putting Barbie with Mario. That'll be next. Will you buy it?
You know what I think they should
I don't appreciate this news-esque microphone movement.
You know what would have been my dream turn-based strategy game for the Nintendo Switch, but it would require a lot of money and negotiating back with Rare, is if they did a Conker's Bad Fur Day and Mario crossover, but it's turn-based strategy. So like you could have Mario and Conker working together to take out aliens, and there'd be like blood everywhere.
And Donkey Kong.
Conker doesn't have enough unique characters to
Donkey
have.
Kong could be involved.
Donkey Kong's not a Rare character. It's a Mario character.
Well, just put then. Well, first of all, there is a lot of memorable characters in Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Right, but there's none that like could be considered unique.
Almost every character in Conker's Bad Fur Day was unique.
Right, but you don't see any of them for the whole game. You see them for one section of the game.
Well, that'd be a cameo then, wouldn't it? Be kind of a cool. I mean, why do they have to have a part longer than 5 minutes or 5 seconds to not be a playable character to choose for your XCOM team?
I think it was Valentine's Day when they made that platform.
Yeah, I agree.
Or Easter.
So anyway, I still think that if I was to make a Mario franchise crossover turn-based strategy game, I would love to cross over the Mario franchise with the Rare franchise and make them like battle aliens and have lots of blood.
I think that would be a super cool game. If
Definitely
you
cooler than
replace
Rare.
Conker with Banjo-Kazooie.
Really?
Because Mario.
You're telling me that there's characters in Banjo-Kazooie that are that don't only show up for one level or something?
Well,
Like Like in Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Banjo actually has a main villain. Conker doesn't. The final boss is literally a reference to Alien.
That's perfect for
You don't
XCOM.
see it until the very end. You don't know that there's not a main villain in Conker.
The main villain is yourself.
The main villain was that King Panther who cries over spilt milk.
He does.
Yeah, but you never fight him. Because he dies.
You end up fighting Alien.
Yeah.
But he is still a main character. He shows up in every single cutscene.
That's true.
And so does
there's a lot more
the scientist.
characters in Banjo-Kazooie.
What?
You have-
Grunky?
You have Klungo, the whatever he is, reptile. Then you have Gruntilda, and then you have Banjo's sister, Tootie, and then you have Bottles, the mole. And then you have Jam Jars, Bottles' brother. And you have
And tell me, how often do these characters show up in the game?
Jam Jars shows up basically like 4 or 5 times every level in Banjo-Tooie. Bottles is the reason that you go on your adventure in Banjo-Kazooie, or in Banjo-Tooie, because Bottles dies. Tootie is the reason you go on your adventure in Banjo-Kazooie, because you're saving the princess.
Basically, every single boss in Conker's Bad Fur Day is memorable.
I know that.
So wouldn't people get really excited to see them?
I mean, I guess, but
Okay, I guess the reason why that just comes up to me is because this is what I have a visual of, and it seems so cool. So, Mario okay, so they're surrounding a UFO saucer. Aliens start coming out of the UFO saucer. Mario throws a giant fireball to burn one of the aliens. Aliens now realize that we have their attention. Wario runs up to where Mario and Conker are standing behind a tree trunk, lets out a big yellow fart, which acts like a smoke grenade to prevent the aliens from coming near. Also, it repels the aliens because Wario's farts stink. Conker puts on his World War II Saving Private Ryan helmet, pulls out a giant machine gun, and with 90% success rate, shoots and kills another alien in order to level up to where he can now ride a dinosaur. I mean, doesn't that just sound awesome?
yeah, it never happened. It's a cool concept for a game, but I don't think it would ever happen.
Well, if I was Nintendo, that's where I'd be putting my money.
I don't think they have a right to put money. I don't think they have a right to throw money at Rare at this point.
Do you... Why? Because...
Rare and they let them go. I don't think Rare wants to go back to Nintendo.
I think for the right...
If they did, then why haven't they?
Because I think Nintendo doesn't want to keep them on board. Well, okay, in all fairness, I think the reason why Rare doesn't want to go back to Nintendo is because guess who's supporting Rare right now? Microsoft.
Exactly. They can give them more money. And Rare is actually making a decent game right now. Sea of Thieves. It's a pirate game
That's cool.
that's sort of an MMO, but not really.
So are there dinosaurs with pirates?
No.
I was just checking.
But it's a game where you literally act like a pirate. It's like a pirate simulator.
You get scurvy and stuff?
I don't know. I don't know anything about the game really.
Pirate
but I know
Simulator.
the premise is that you have to act like a pirate. Like you gotta do pirate things.
Like steal stuff? And go shooting?
No.
So is it a simulator as it tries to be realistic, or simulator as in like Civilization or Sid Meier's Pirates?
Like what's something a pirate does normally on the ship?
Swap the booty deck.
See, you can do that in Sea of Thieves.
Drink rum?
Swap the
Yeah.
booty?
Get it.
Flirt with women at the saloon?
I'm not sure if any of the game takes place off of the ship.
Fishing.
Right, you can fish.
For food.
Shoot or stab your other fellow seaman?
Yeah.
Seaman.
Seaman. I'm about to be
Catch
game.
mermaids. What part of old YouTube would people want back?
Everything.
Can you please list them? Because I really want to.
Good Let's Plays.
We can still go back and rewatch
What's wrong with our Let's Plays?
I'm talking about, like...
Aren't the Let's Plays that were good back in 2009 still? Are they able to watch them today?
Yeah. But they're not as good as when you watched them back then, because... I know.
So what else besides Let's Plays is old YouTube?
The way that the YouTube algorithm worked was a lot better back then.
How was it?
I don't know. I guess it was just... It knew a lot better what you wanted to watch rather than what it thinks nowadays. Like, you watched one video about Mario 64. Here's 17 videos that you don't want to watch that might be related to Mario 64. You'll just have to watch them to find out.
All I remember about old YouTube is how I didn't have to sit there and watch advertisements before I clicked on the YouTube. That's all I care about.
You just beat the game 100%.
I did.
Aaron, he just beat the game 100%.
Without thinking about
And
it?
he literally didn't even think about it because he was talking about other stuff the whole time.
That's true. Yoshi!
Where?
Yoshi was there.
Missed him.
Do you think the end of cartridge-based games has anything to do with the U.S. economy, or do you think it was solely for the greed of corporations?
What do you mean the end of cartridge-based games? We're using cartridges now.
And what?
The Switch.
That's an SD card.
It's still the same thing. We're also using cartridges for 3DS.
You know what? You might have a point. I'll take it back. The cartridge is basically a solid-state drive, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why it can save so much faster.
They're just tiny and more losable and more fragile.
I stand corrected.
Man, look at that. That anti-aliasing.
You mean aliasing? There's a lot of aliasing and a lot of low resolution going on right now.
But there's definitely 60 FPS.
Not that either. About half that.
About half that. Look at those birds. Real life.
We didn't get to see Yoshi. I did, but
You did.
guys missed it.
We were too busy looking at other stuff.
If you want to make fun of low resolution and aliasing, try some of the 3D Saturn games.
I've never done that. I don't think graphics are a problem in games.
I agree with you, Jake.
I agree too. Graphics are not what's the thing.
Oh, you guys get to see the fat penguin.
But if I'm playing a PC game, and why is that special?
Because it's 120 stars. Because it becomes fat.
Really? Well, that's a special moment for
And
me.
if you
then.
go back to race him again, the race is a lot harder.
He can slide faster because he's got more weight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Kind of like Cool Runnings.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, but with PC gaming, because there's so many options to enhance graphics with PC gaming, if there's a possibility to make the graphics look better, I'm going to try to go for it.
So,
As long as there's no screen tear.
So with an old game like Final Fantasy VII, would you be one of the people that downloads the HD texture pack?
Yeah. Yes. Well, if I was to play Final Fantasy for like vanilla to get the real experience of what it was like back in 1997, I wouldn't be playing it on PC. I'd be playing it on PlayStation 1.
We'd have to get a PlayStation 1.
You have one, don't you?
We have one, yeah.
Where?
My PS3 is the...
But,
No.
You have a PS1, don't you?
No.
You don't?
We did when I lived at Grandma's, but it broke.
Oh. We have two at our house.
Why?
Because Bryce has the big one and the small one.
Weird.
Why does my PS3 not count as a PS1 and a PS2 since it can play both?
Because it is a PS3.
No, it's actually a PS1, 2, and 3.
I see Yoshi.
It's actually a PS3.
Yoshi.
There he is.
Look at him.
He looks like a smokestack.
How can you say it's just a PS3 when it doesn't emulate? It literally plays the discs.
Because it's not literally a PS1.
It still has the hardware in it that
It would be
PS1 had.
right. So it's like, and the controller is almost identical.
I understand this, but it's not a PS1. It is a PS3.
You don't have the option of plopping up the lid and putting the disc in and then turn it on and it go like whoosh.
Well, if they made like,
I love the PS1 logo.
So do I.
well, if they, wait a minute, it does, yeah, plop it in the disc. But if you put a PlayStation 1 disc in a PS3, it still does that logo. It just doesn't do the plop in. You just can't
Yes,
do the
I
physical
know,
plop
but
in
it's
thing.
not a PS1.
You know what I love about PS1 discs?
They're blue,
Black.
black,
The bottom of it's black. I think that's cool.
black.
Isn't
PS2 games are blue
No, they're
in the
not.
beginning.
some of them are.
Yes,
Really?
they were.
Some of them
At
are
first,
blue.
they were. They were blue.
I didn't know that.
Some are.
Blue. I have an
Does that
example
make
for you.
them- Does that make them scratch resistant?
Makes them awesome resistance.
I'm not sure why. What was the reason for them being blue?
Because they're cool.
Is that it?
Because the PS2s was black and blue.
Because someone said the word Blu-ray, and they were like, "We're gonna do that first."
And
We're
then-
just gonna paint blue at the bottom of our disc.
Blu-ray. I'd rather not play 3-player on Mario Kart 64 though.
Oh, who's gonna be left out?
Me.
Do you know why though?
Because it's little tiny squares.
That's not why.
Because the frame rate drops like 15 frames.
Because it
No,
turns
that's
into
not-
10 frames
that's
per
not why
second instead
either.
of 60.
That's not why either.
Because you prefer 60.
That's not. That game doesn't run at 60.
Oh,
The
75.
reason is because
Less items.
if you play the game in 3 or 4 players, then all the music is quiet.
Oh,
music.
I remember that. Why would they do that? Is it that much strain to play music, a little MIDI file in the background?
I don't know.
I forgot all about that.
Oh my goodness.
What?
I just thought of a game that I think is extremely overrated, and it makes me sad because I feel so alienated from the rest of the community.
Persona 5.
I feel so alienated from the rest of the community because I've been a huge fan of all the Persona games, and I thought Persona 5 is actually probably one of, story-wise, is one of the worst ones in the series.
Yeah,
And-
played any more than like 5 out of
And yet everyone disagrees with me. Even Ben Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation, who makes fun of Persona players and Persona games, says it's a good game, and I'm like, what the heck, people?